I'm so sick and tired of working on myself. There's like this whole fad, trend. In general, it's just fucking popular. Everyone's like, work on yourself, thrive, be beautiful, do you, live your fucking best life. And while I understand in the long term that's the best thing for you, the healthiest thing, at the end of the day, that's what you want for yourself and for your life. The fact that it's become, I don't know, popular, trendy, cutesy, blows my mind, because right now I'm working on myself and this shit hurts. I'm having a full-on anxiety attack. Like, it's hard to breathe, my chest is hurting, this shit is happening, and I swear to God I'm not making a move. Long story short, this shit is not fun, and I'm sick and tired of seeing people on Instagram talking about get up today, have a beautiful day, do you. Cause like, bitch, do you even know how much energy it takes for me to do me each and every single day? Way too much. What's up, YouTube? In this video, I'm gonna be talking about unintentionally being toxic or unintentional toxicness, how you identify that, and how you deal with it. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. Remember to subscribe and like, because that lets me know what type of content I should be producing. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, why aren't you subscribed? You keep coming back anyway, so hit that subscription button. Despite what the intro might have you believe, I'm a positive person, but you know, positivity doesn't always have to look, shit, I don't know. The point is that I wouldn't be making this video if I didn't believe in working on yourself, bettering yourself, and doing all of the healthy steps it takes to be a better you. So, what is toxicness? I think we kind of all understand that, but you know, I don't actually know what the fuck the definition of toxicness is. Basically, the way I see a toxic person is anybody who is constantly disturbing your peace, constantly disturbing your good vibes, constantly bringing negativity into your life, and it's a constant reoccurring theme. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're trying to do it or they're trying to be maliciously like evil towards you. They could be trying their very hardest to not be a toxic person, or you know, they could just be going through something else in their lives where they're just preoccupied by that thing and they don't have time to worry about your triggers. They don't have time to worry, like they're just kind of a mess. And I've been a mess before, and I've been a toxic person in that situation. And you know, there's just a whole bunch of different scenarios. I think there's very few people out there who try to be malicious, like on purpose, and are evil in that way. Like I'm purposefully trying to like fucking attack you. Which brings me to my current situation. If you've been following my videos, you know that I've been having issues with certain people, and by certain people I mean really just a friend of mine, where I'm constantly being triggered or I'm constantly feeling some type of way by the actions that they're doing or by the things that they say. To put it plain and simple, this person continues to engage in behaviors that leave me feeling some type of way, to the point where I'm having panic attacks, anxiety attacks. Quite literally doing this video, I have so much anxiety even talking about this, because the thought of it bothers me so much. And it's a mixture of anger, it's a mixture of sadness, it's a mixture of disappointment. I'm having all of these feelings, and honestly, I'm straight up not having a good time. An example of what that looks like is I often go down the rabbit hole and I start ruminating on thoughts and just, you know, having all these random scenarios pop up to my mind that may or may not be true. It could be based off of the energy the person's giving me. It could be based off something they said in text or said in person. It could be based off of a look. I'll start thinking like, oh, this person hates me. This person thinks that I'm stupid, or this person thinks this, and that. And that becomes so freaking severe that it triggers a panic attack. It's like fucking me up, but like diet fucking me up. Either way, the shit's uncomfortable. That understanding, I have learned through therapy and just from experience that most of the times when I have these feelings, they're not true. Most of the times my friends, when I bring it up to them, are like, no, I'm not thinking that at all. That's not the case. Like, no. But that's the whole point in terms of where I'm going next. I've learned to simply ask the person, you know, are you thinking this? Are you feeling this way? Just straight up ask them. And that's my job, in the sense that if I didn't ask them, if I didn't inquire and, not go down the rabbit hole, not have all these random thoughts and what ifs, because there's a simple way to shut down what ifs. Simply find out the answer. It's my job to meet my friends halfway and inquire and not act batshit crazy, not get mad at them, not act mean and nasty, not act out in a way that is disproportionate to the action that they, or the behavior that they did to me. Most of the time it's because the behaviors that they're doing to me or the behaviors that I've experienced from them have triggered some traumatic or trauma experience that I had in the past. And my response is extreme because my trauma was extreme, but their behavior was not extreme. Them forgetting that we had a lunch next week and we don't go to lunch because they forgot is not the same thing as my mom coming in and out of my life and disappearing for years. They're just not the same thing. With my friend that I've been having recent issues with, I'm not saying at all that they haven't, gone the extra mile, that they haven't helped me with my anxiety. They haven't done any of that. They help me quite literally all the time. They ease my anxiety. I literally go over there to ease my anxiety when it's just blown out of proportion. But at the same time, they also are causing a lot of the anxiety that I have and causing just a lot of symptoms that I'd rather not be feeling. What makes it a problem and why it's become a problem in my mind is that we're having the same conversations over and over again. And it's like, okay, I'm doing my part. I'm bringing it to your attention. You say you're sorry. You see why what you did wasn't the best thing for me, and you understand how that's connected to my trauma. They understand all of that because I've explained it to them perfectly, and they reiterate it to me, and they're like, okay, I got it, and then it happens again, and it continually happens to the point where it's like, okay, I know that this is not your responsibility, and I know that you don't have to do these things, but if you love me and care about me and care about my well-being like you say you do, and you understand that these things hurt me, and at the same time you say that, these adaptions I'm asking of you aren't a big deal, then why the fuck can't you just do them at least a few times? A good example of this would be in June, they had a sibling or their sister came down for the weekend, and I perfectly understand sibling time. They didn't come down for me. They came down to spend time together, but apparently she also brought some of her friends, so I was under the impression, because we made soft plans for that same weekend, hey, Julius is gonna come hang out with us and we're gonna do stuff. That's the soft plans, no details at all. And then the day of, when these plans were supposed to happen, they asked me, so what are you doing today? And immediately, obviously, my attachment issues went to oh my God, you completely forgot about me and how you kind of included me softly in your plans. You just must think that I don't exist. You must think that I thought if I wasn't here right now, if I was dead, life wouldn't, you wouldn't care, everything would go on as normal. That's where my mind went. And, I did feel some type of way, but that's the batshit crazy that I'm talking about. And I tried very hard, and I think I did a good job of not blowing up on that person and being fuck you, I hate you. And instead I was oh, well, I thought we were supposed to be doing something together. And they said, oh, well, that's fine. We're supposed to be going to brunch. We're supposed to be going to this place and then this place. Do you want to come along? And because I was feeling some type of way, I had said, how about you text me when you're on your way to those places? Because it was last minute and I was still in that weird headspace of thinking I did not matter. But I was meeting them halfway in the sense that it's not all black and white. We can still have fun. We can still do things together. It doesn't mean that you don't need me there. It doesn't mean that you don't want me there. If that was the case, you wouldn't have invited me to begin with. So that's where we were headed towards in terms of the system. Because I could have acted batshit crazy and just made the whole day terrible. But instead, I said text me while y'all are headed towards brunch, and then I'll meet y'all there because it's not too far away. They completely forgot, or whatever they say they forgot, I don't know. but I like happened to see their location because I'm crazy. And they were already at brunch. So of course I felt some type of way. I'm like, okay, no one told me, like, that's cool. And then I brought it up to them again. I'm like, hey, I thought I told you like to text me when you're on your way so I could join you. And they said, oh, well, we're waiting for a table. You can come now. And I'm like, okay, no, because I'll just be pissed off and I'll bring down the vibe, and like, that's not a good idea. How about y'all enjoy your brunch and you text me at the next place and let me know when you're going to the next place. And guess what, bitch? They also forgot to text me then. I remember texting them in the afternoon and I was like, what's going on? And they're like, oh, it's nap time. So I'm like, oh, okay, they're taking a nap. Cool. I'll wait until they are about to leave for the next place and do something fun. They leave and go to this next place and do whatever they're doing, and I was not informed. So then it's like, that's when I was like, okay, bitch. Like, no. That's when I was like vehemently angry. And angry less because I understand that, you know, their sibling was in town with their friends and they want to have like whatever, their time. Like, I'm not mad about that. Like, just tell me that. But I was more so upset at the fact that I had brought it up to their attention that like twice now, that it made me feel some type of way, and they just completely, I'm not saying they didn't care, but they didn't take notice of that. And this is my first, like, I've never experienced this before. All my friends in the past, like, I just have not experienced this where I've brought it to someone's attention and they've just completely missed like what I'm trying to tell them. So of course that caused issues. And it's really that piece that I'm struggling being friends with this person and engaging with this person, because I know that they're my friends and I know that they care and they do help me. But scenarios like that happen like almost every single day, in the sense that in this case, the adaptation for them is to simply text me and let me know like, hey, this is what we're doing on the next place. The adaptation for me, or the way that I meet them halfway, is by understanding that they forgot and not acting crazy and blowing up on them and being malicious and nasty. But when I've brought it to their attention a few times now and they just haven't done their part, I'm left feeling this person really just does not care. Or this person does not love and care about me in the way that they say they do. Because if you loved and cared about somebody, you would listen to them when they're telling you like, I'm having a fucking panic attack and my chest actually feels like I'm having a heart attack. Like, I'm dying right now. Like, this action, it seems really small and minuscule, but this action is making it seem like I feel like I'm dying. And it happened like 3-4 times within a day. I was laid out. I was like in distress. It was the worst. It's one of the worst days I've had in a while. And I feel like I did everything right in terms of voicing what was wrong and what they could do right. And it wasn't like I was asking for a lot. And in a nutshell, that's been the problem, in the sense that, you know, it's not them purposefully ignoring my triggers, and it's not their job to adhere to my triggers and then adapt in that way. But in my mind, it's called being a friend, because all my other friends do think about me inherently. They think about me and my needs, and they don't, like, we don't have these problems. While before, I really did feel as though this person had no idea what they were doing was wrong, or not wrong, you know, none of it was wrong, but the things that they were doing were triggering me and making me feel some type of way, or that I really did genuinely believe that they forgot. All of these different things, I genuinely believed that they were trying and that they were just aloof to half the things. And that, while it was irritating, while that was irritating as fuck, they're trying, and that's all you can ask somebody. But in the last 2 weeks, that has shifted to the point where they are now embracing these qualities, and not the same qualities as before. They're still actively working on not triggering me. Like, they still are doing that. Like, I mean, they want me to go out with them, like going out to like the clubs and bars or whatever, and they actively, you know, make sure they're not doing things that are going to trigger me, which is like, it's really thoughtful. I appreciate that. I feel loved. They're still doing that. But then there are other things that we both have actually agreed on as being not the best traits or not the best behaviors for any human to have, specifically as it relates to communication, that they've surprised me, like flat out. My face was like, shocked me in the sense that they were like, oh yeah, that's just who I am. Like I'm not gonna change. That's just me. And I've never met anybody like that who like not only knows that their behaviors are not the best or the best traits or that their behaviors are toxic-ish, but their behaviors are hurting the people that they love, and they're just like okay with it, or they're just okay. They think that they have the whole mindset that if that's just who you are, then that's just who you are. And it's like, no, 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 that's not at least what I believe. Like, bitch, change who you are. Be a better person. That's what I'm actively trying to do. And that's why this is a whole mind clusterfuck right here. Because I'm always thinking about my behaviors and always trying to be a better person. And the fact that now these behaviors that they've started to do, they don't like give a fuck about. Like, where do I go from here? I think prior to this whole new embodiment of like bad behaviors or just not caring about their behaviors, I used to threaten them, and I think I didn't know that this was a threat at first, and it definitely is an attachment thing of mine. But I would be like, if you continually do these things, like I'm not gonna be friends with you anymore, and I'm gonna leave, and like, bitch, thank you next, peace out. And I realized while I did genuinely feel like that, I was saying this to them because it's like this is literally breeding the dynamic in the sense that I don't like people leaving my life. I don't want to lose people, but like I can't at the same time be triggered by you. So like something's got to give. Like I don't know what to do because like you need to fix yourself because I can't lose you because you're one of my closest friends and I love you, but at the same time you're hurting me and I don't know what to do, y'all. It's been real confusing. It only dawned on me that me saying thank you next and I'm going to leave was really just me saying like, hey, I don't want to lose you. I want you to I want you in my life, and it will kill me if I lose you. Like that's really what I was saying, but I only knew that because now that this person has embodied that whole like this is me, I don't care thing. My feelings, while I still do feel that same way deep down inside, I have now switched positions in the sense that I'm tired. I'm so tired of this. I'm tired of being triggered. I'm tired of arguing. I'm tired of trying to work with this person and they're just not working with me, or they see everything as being fine. They see everything as being a joke. They're not taking these, like I'm tired. That's what it is. I'm tired. And I noticed that because before, while I was, screaming at the top of my lungs to get this person to, hear me and to work with me and to like tell me how they feel and for me to tell them how they feel, I was working so hard on this. I have to realize that, just because somebody is toxic for me does not mean that they're a terrible person. So there's no point in making that person feel like shit about themselves because that's where I would go. I would in order for me, I always believed that in order for them to see that they are hurting me, I need to make them feel bad about themselves, or I need to hurt them, or I need to do something so that they see that they are hurting me. But clearly, regardless if they see that or they don't see that, I don't think they do see that, but they're not willing to change. And I think that, maybe they have their own things they need to work through, but I have like my own path that I'm working on, and I have my own healing and my own shit to deal with as well. And that doesn't mean that we can't be friends, and it breaks my heart, and I'm tired, and that's the route we're going down. But it's time to do something different, because at the end of the day, again, my triggers are my triggers, and their triggers in their life is their life, and it's not my place, my job, or anything to say that how you're living your life is wrong and you need to change. And it's not my place to try to force them to change. If this was a month ago and it felt as though they were still working with me on these things, then yeah. But like as soon as I heard that this is me and I'm not gonna change, I was like, well, fuck. Then what am I doing? And I need to respect that. And at first I was, very much like, that's stupid, that's wrong, you're toxic as fuck and you're evil. But no, that's not what that means. It means that that's this person's life and it's not good for me. Maybe it'll be good for me in the future. Maybe I'm going like I did, just suffer a whole bunch of loss earlier this year, I'm very fragile. So like that's why a lot of this is bothering me in general, and I recognize that, and that's not this person's fault. Clearly, we have mutual friends as well. Obviously, they're able to be friends with other people who are also friends with me, and I'm friends with those people. So like there's a mutual connection somewhere in there, and they are one of my closest, and I say are, not was. They are one of my closest friends. I love them to death, and that's not going to change. But as of right now in this present moment, because friendships do change, they come in and out, you know, right now I need to fall back and I need to just take a breather because bitch, I'm tired. And I know this to be the case, and I know this to be the best route, because I don't need to be dramatic and tell them this. I just need to do it and just take a step back. And if they notice, then they notice and they ask why, or they want to change and they want something different, then they want something different. If this is the best thing for both of us, then this is the best thing for both of us. And that's all I want, is the best thing for both of us. So that's the healthy answer that I don't want to freaking give about how to deal with toxic people, because toxicness is a case-by-case basis unless you're like a murderer or like a rapist or something. In that case, you're just evil. It just depends on who you are and what you're dealing with and your needs and the people that you surround yourself in your life, the people you want to surround yourself with, the people that, you know, if you're really into baseball, you're not going to go hang out with people who like to collect teddy bears. It doesn't make that teddy bear collector toxic. It just means that y'all are different people. And maybe right now I'm trying to grow a lot and they're still trying to figure out what they need to grow from. Who knows? Working on yourself is so much fun, isn't it? Alright, y'all, I'm tired of talking to y'all. I mean, I love y'all, but I'm tired of talking about myself. I'm tired of talking about this person. I'm like heartbroken and sad. So I'm just gonna go like this and lay down on this bed and just think sad thoughts and listen to sad music, and kind of process shit. So yeah, like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to hear from y'all. I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts. Y'all are always just coming at it with the good thoughts and the knowledge, and we love that. Turn on subscription notifications, because then you'll know when I'm uploading a new video. Peace.